What up, brothers? I feel like I owe you guys an apology. I haven't been filming, haven't been telling you guys anything. You don't even know what's going on, and I know a lot of guys have been asking about where the Cobalt's at and what I've been doing, and I know some of you guys are curious about the G37 because we got some stuff going on with that too. Truth is, haven't been doing anything. I've been filming a little bit here and there, but I haven't been doing much of anything, so you haven't been missed anything, which is a good thing. You know, we've just been so busy over here. We just put this lift in over here to keep up with the workload that we got going on. Part of it's just finding the time to actually film and do all this extra work, but now it's into the winter season. You know what that means. It's always time for projects over the winter, so I'm gonna be getting back into this. We have some film that's for the G37 that I have edited some of the videos. I just haven't put them out there. We did some camber adjustment, we did some ram air intakes, we did some new custom exhaust. So all that's gonna be coming to you here pretty soon. As far as the Cobalt is, it's outside right now, and I did do some filming that I'm gonna show you guys here in a minute, but right now let's go outside and see where it's really at. Before I show you guys the Cobalt's current state, I have a confession to make. And I think I've told you this in the other part of the video, but I hate body work. I really don't like doing body work. I'm a guy that just likes to go fast and likes to make more power and likes the adrenaline rush of that kind of stuff. So with that being said, I am no longer going to paint this car. I have done some body work, like I said. I'm gonna show you it here in a second, but I'm not gonna do any more. I'm gonna clear coat it just to keep it safe. And I still am gonna do the rust repair on the quarters and in the floor that I showed you guys before, because I definitely need to clear that up. That's unacceptable. But as far as this, I don't wanna spend any more time doing the body work just because it's not my passion. And it's really hard for me to motivate myself to do that just because I don't enjoy it so much. And I'm a firm believer of doing what you enjoy. Sometimes you gotta push yourself through some things you don't want to do, but in this point, maybe I'll do it later, but right now I'm not planning on doing it. So here's the car. It's been sitting out here for maybe like 3 weeks, and I cannot believe that the spots that are bare metal, like right here, they're not even rusty yet. I don't even get that, but it's not. Obviously the engine's still out of it. I kind of bagged this up just to keep some of the water out, but oh boy, it's open now, so I gotta cover that back up. But like, this is what I'm talking about. This rocker rust here, we gotta repair, because that's totally not acceptable. And speaking of that as well, the guys, if you guys have any rockers or any side skirts that you're willing to sell, let me know. I need some, because the ones that I took off the car got ruined. I broke them on the way off. So if you guys have any good ones that you're willing to get rid of, let me know. I'm definitely willing to buy them. Just to let you guys know what the look inside still looks like. It's kind of dark in here. Let me see if I can brighten this up a little bit. There we go. So got all the sound deadening off, you know, got all the wires tucked up and kind of just laying in here. The floor in here is the part I was talking about that I have to replace, that I have to patch still, is you know, we're Flintstoning it over here. But so at this point, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm just gonna take what I have, I'm gonna put the dash back in it, some of it, because I still wanna keep it light, but I just wanna put as little back into it as possible. So I'm just gonna start piecing it back together and start getting this thing on the road. So now that you've seen where the Cobalt's currently at, it's kind of rough, and I know I'm gonna get a lot of beef for not doing the body work on this thing, but that's okay because I made my decision, this is what I wanna do. So the next video here, I have the cylinder head. I'm gonna start porting that and show you guys how I do it so that you guys can get a really good idea, and I'm gonna get nice and involved and show you the tools and what to use and the things to be aware of when it comes to doing that kind of work. And then slowly here, we're gonna start piecing the motor back together, and we'll start talking combination, start talking ideas. For now, I am definitely gonna keep it supercharged. I'm not gonna be turboing it, although I know a lot of guys say, you know, if you're really trying to make the power, turbo it. But right now, I'm not gonna do that. I can always do that later. The rest of this video will just be covering taking the rest of it apart and sanding it, some of it down and doing all that. So other than that, definitely feel free to let me know, because I don't hear much from you guys. I wanna know how you guys feel about this project and what you guys wanna see along the process, so that I make sure that I cover it and get it done for you guys. Other than that, I'll see you on the next one, guys. Take it easy. So right now we are getting ready to sand the thing down so that we can prep it for paint. So we gotta take the window moldings off here. We might have to take this glass out. We're gonna look at that. Gotta take the antenna off the top there. We have to take off, I'm gonna take this rear bumper off, it's plastic, and I don't want to get aggressive with it because right now, which I did try already, I have some 80 grit on the DA sander. I was just hitting this just to see what it would do. And I gotta pull the door handles off. I gotta pull these skirts off, these side skirts off. And we're gonna get down to the bare metal so we can do some rust repair there. So next on the list here, I'm gonna be pulling these door handles out. They're pretty simple. The 10 millimeters there, and there's 2 behind the latch there in between the lock cylinder. You can see the one down here, and there's one right above it. Okay, just got the bolts off. Now there's 2 tabs. You got the one here. Oop, get my light back in here. You got this one here that you push in. You can push the front part of the latch out. Then you have another one on top, right up on the top there. And you push down on that one, and then you can push it out that way. The 2 bolts that are in behind here are actually for the lock cylinder. So we don't even have to worry about detaching that linkage. We can keep that there. And the way that you actually get the handle out is you gotta pull like you're opening the door so that it actually closes that linkage. Because otherwise it actuates, you know, when you close the link, pull the door handle, it actually makes this thinner. If you guys get the idea. Yeah, like that. So then I can slide it right out of the hole there. Otherwise, if it's wide open, you can't get it through. And now I can get this lock completely out and pry on this and actually get this lock out. But now you can actually see how this works, where it sits in there, and you have to pry on both of those tabs to the side to actually get the linkage up and out of this thing. So with this one, I didn't show you over there, I had to hot wire the window up because otherwise you got the glass in the way. Can't get to anything. But now I gotta do the same on this side. Got both door handles, lock cylinders out. One thing is the red one will be the drivers, green is passengers. It does matter when you go to bolt it up so that your shit will work. And I am labeling the door handles as well. Just taping it to the linkage because I'm obviously gonna be sanding that and painting it. So passengers, and then I'll put one for drivers over here. And I've always sport this, and you guys probably know this if you watch this channel. Always put your bolts back in if you can, so you don't have to label them, don't have to bag them, and they're already where they're supposed to be. So you don't even have to worry about it. So now I'm gonna do this to the other handle too. I already cheated as far as showing you how to take this bumper off because I had already done it. Because I had dropped a valve stem in here that I needed, and I couldn't get it out because it got stuck in here somewhere. So I ended up taking that apart, and it's pretty simple. You know, take the light out and disconnect it so the wiring won't come with it. And there's pretty easy. You just take this inner wheel well out. Now the easiest way is to take the tire off, just because it is kind of a pain in the ass getting in behind here. But you can definitely sneak in there because that's what I did. And there's a bolt right here that you can see that I already taken out. And once you get that off, then you literally, the rest of it just snaps together. You just lift up on it as best you can and then pry out. And then it comes off like that. And then once you go along here, you have just, you know, push pins that go along here and a few on the bottom that you pull off as well. And then same thing on the other side, the bolt behind the inner wheel well, and the same way it attaches here is pretty super quick and easy. It's 7 millimeter, by the way. I forgot to get the one off of this side, so that's the last one to get it. So now I got that off. Do the same thing I said, pull up on it, pull off. And then do the same on the other side. Woo, and there it goes. Oh, and one thing I forgot to mention, so you don't rip your wires off like I just about did, I had already unplugged the license plate light wire, but make sure you do that before you actually do just like what I did, because otherwise you're gonna rip some stuff apart and you're not gonna have a good day. So now you see what it looks like with no bumper. Very ugly, but hey, part of the project. Next on the list, side skirts. Had to pull this, they're 8 millimeters, 7 millimeters, sorry for everything. Pretty much everything on the Chevy, the small stuff, 7 millimeters. This rust repair is gonna be so shitty. But yeah, easy with these. I know there's something underneath I haven't found, or haven't even looked under there yet, as far as what attaches these side skirts. But the clips here, they just pop out. And I'm really a little worried about, oh, look at the rust and holes in there. This is, you know, it's like one of those things where you don't know what you got until you start pulling it apart and you're like, this thing's a piece. But, you know, I got it now and I'm just gonna have to deal with it, so it is what it is. Upon further inspection, don't do it like I do, because I broke pretty much all the clips on these. Now, these do slide out. As you can see, it does have a slot on it. But I tried that a little bit. It was pretty difficult, so I just said, screw it. I'm just gonna go ahead and pry these out, which some of them are okay. But, you know, unless you plan on replacing everything, don't do it the way that I did it. And this side is way better, by the way. Definitely still has some rust down there on the end, but it's not nearly as porous as the passenger side. So it's a little nicer. But yeah, that's the skirts for you. All right, guys, that's about all I'm gonna pull off this car before I sand it down. So I still gotta power wash the engine bay because it's awfully oily, as you guys know from before. So gotta do some of that, but for now I'm just gonna D-day the outside and go on to the nice and boring work. I'm gonna do a little time lapse on it, but you know, other than that, I'm just gonna keep cleaning it off. I'm just gonna take off this top coat because I don't know what kind of paint it is. My brother does do bodywork professionally, so he's gonna help me with the paint and everything and smoothing it out and blocking it once we get there. But he's telling me, you know, just brush off the top coat because we don't know what it is. But other than that, the base coat that came on the car will be fine and that'll blend well. So what I did here is just a little too much. So gonna leave that like that for now. But other than that, like I said, I'll time lapse a little bit of me sanding, but other than that, I'm just gonna get this done and see you guys on the next one. Let me know if you need anything. Let me know if you guys got any questions, you know, like and subscribe. This build is continuing and soon I'm gonna be taking the engine stuff to the machine shop, which I talked about that months ago and I still haven't done it. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time.